September 21st, Flying Chapel, reception area. So this is the reception hall.
According to the pamphlet, we're right here.
Yikes, we're pretty high up, but at least we're indoors, so it doesn't seem so bad.
Oh, look, Nick, it's Emma. Hey, Emma, over here. Mr. Wright, Maya, does this mean you've taken the case?
Yeah, that's how things kind of turned out. So do you mind if we take a look around?
Be my guest. We're pretty much wrapped up our investigation, so go right ahead.
Now's a good chance to find out more about the case from Emma, too. Indeed. Edgeworth wouldn't tell us anything about this case. So do you think you could give us a rundown?
Well, seeing as he's got to be prosecuting, I expect him to be tight-lipped about it. The incident occurred yesterday on September 20th. It happened after the wedding reception, which lasted from 7 to 10 p.m.
7 to 10 p.m., huh? Got it. By the way, you didn't hear about any time traveling or anything, did you?
Time traveling? What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. Forget it. That's pretty much the response I expected.
The victim's name is Dumas Bloomsbury. He was a servant in the Sprocket family household.
Ellen was a maid for that family as well, so that means the two of them were co-workers?
Yes, they apparently knew each other. Mr. Bloomsbury was the lead servant, after all. He was very serious about his work, but he was also a very closed and private man. So the other servants called him Mr. Doom and Gloom behind his back.
If he was the lead servant, he must have been higher ranked than Ellen. What makes the police think Ellen killed this man, a guy who was essentially her boss?
We don't know the defendant's motive yet, but the circumstances surrounding the discovery of the body don't bode well for her.
And what circumstances are these exactly?
Well, some of her in-laws saw what looked like the immediate aftermath of the murder. The suspect was standing in front of the body with the murder weapon still in her hands.
But why would a bride who was just about to start a happy new life kill someone? Do the police have an explanation for that?
Yeah, about that. They believe the victim attacked the suspect and was killed when she fought back.
But why did he attack her to begin with?
Well, a mere servant girl was going to suddenly be the wife of the future president. Mr. Bloomsbury must have been more than just a little jealous of her. So this Mr. Doom and Gloom attacked Ellen first? But if she was only trying to protect herself, wouldn't that count as justified self-defense on her part, Nick?
It would. There's a good chance she'd be acquitted if we could prove that, but I wonder what Edgeworth will have up his sleeve to counter that claim.
But wow, a servant girl marrying the future president of such a huge company. It sounds like a modern-day fairy tale. It does, doesn't it? Thing is, not everyone was on board with their union, apparently.
So what was the murder weapon, Emma?
This clock with a secret mechanism built into it. It was on display here in the reception hall. The suspect was holding it when the murder was discovered.
So the victim was clubbed to death with this, huh? But that's funny. There's no blood on it as far as I can tell.
Maybe it was wiped off in an attempt to tamper with the evidence? But there was definitely a luminol reaction. And it matches up with the shape of the injury, so it's gotta be the murder weapon. What a funny looking clock. They call it the timekeeper. The idea is that it's a time machine. Every time the couple sees it, it'll bring them back to the memory of their wedding day.
A time machine, huh? I'm to think of it. Ellen said her pendant was a part of a time machine. I wonder how the secret mechanism in this thing works.
The suspect never had any family or relatives to depend on, so she was working as a live-in maid for the Sprocket family to support herself.
So a maid with no family or fortune was set to marry the president's son, huh? I guess it's not surprising that ruffled a feather or two.
Yes, apparently the groom's parents and all of his other relatives were strongly opposed. But that didn't stop the young couple from deciding to go ahead with their wedding. Love flourishes in the face of adversity.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yep. If you ever have any questions about love, just ask me. I'm a qualified expert. I spend all my spare time in Korea watching soap operas on TV.
I'm not sure that's enough to make you a qualified anything, Maya.
Oh, and by the way, I heard the suspect faced her fair share of harassment, too. And from the sound of it, it got pretty ugly for her.
So even though this incident could cause a huge scandal for the company, it might be a boon for those who opposed their marriage to begin with. After all, with Ellen's arrest and everything, the marriage is most definitely off now. I know. Time to investigate. It's a hot air balloon, a symbol of humanity's ambition to take to the skies. It's kind of a romantic notion, don't you think?
Yeah, but I just noticed that it doesn't seem to be tied up to the ceiling at all that well.
I'm sure it's fine. Please don't let it all fall on my head. A model airplane, the perfect decoration for an airline company wedding.
And a propeller plane like this lands the room a great old-timey feel. Ooh, I love to see the Steel Samurai fly a plane like this. Can you picture it? The Steel Samurai zipping through the clouds over near old Tokyo.
If Sprocket Aviation ever becomes a sponsor of the show, I can see it happen.
Why didn't I think of that? I think I'll go suggest the idea to them later.
Please at least wait until after the trial is over. So that's the Vista deck out there.
I bet the view's amazing, but I guess it must also kind of freak you out, huh, Nick?
Yeah, kind of. Mostly because there's no surviving a fall from way up here. There is no way to survive a fall. This is the sweetheart table where the bride and groom sit. Where they gorge themselves on the wedding feast, you mean.
I'd be too nervous to eat in front of a bunch of guests like this, though.
They say that newlyweds are usually really busy during the reception, you know. They have to greet and talk with all the guests that came to give their blessings. They don't actually get all that much time to enjoy their dinner.
Aw, I wouldn't be able to stand that. I can't imagine having a huge feast right in front of me and not being able to eat it.
They say brides tend to have an especially hard time because of their wedding dresses. With those tight corsets squeezing their waists, they can barely eat a bite.
Really? Sounds like wedding receptions are absolute torture.
I guess food still wins out over romance in Maya's book. I agree. 100% on that. This must be where the time machine was placed.
I can't believe that such a beautiful memento was used for murder. It's just awful. Nick, we have to prove Ellen's innocence no matter what it takes.
I agree. We can't let this go down as the saddest flying wedding reception in history. I think that about does it for this area. Wow, look at the horns on this flying bovine. He must be a bull. Seems he made it through the ceremony in one piece.
By the look of those wheels, I bet he can be rolled around rather easily, too.
Yeah, I bet it would be quite a hassle if you had to lift and carry him everywhere. And this is what the backside looks like.
What's that by the bottom of his tail? A wheel handle?
Oh, I get it. This way they can get inside to change the light bulbs.
I see they left the wheel handle on the inside unpainted.
I guess they figured nobody will see it, so why bother? It makes sense to cut costs where you can. Well, overall, I can't say I see anything strange about this thing. This must be the lantern the body was found in. Ellen managed to move it quite a ways. It looks like a cow, but it's pretty badly broken.
That's not a cow, Nick. That's a Pegasus, the flying horse.
No way, it's definitely a cow. It's got horns and everything.
But look, it has wings. Cows don't have wings, so it's Pegasus, I tell you. Oh, I know. That pamphlet should tell us. Let's see. Apparently, it's called a Pegamoo.
I did not see that coming.
Yet somehow the name really captures the essence of what this creature is, you know?
Huh.
That's strange.
What is?
Well, this Pegamoo's definitely a male Pegabole, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, with the horns and all.
Okay, well, this Pegamoo over there is also a Pegabole. But take a look at the pamphlet. See? The one on the right says Pegabole, but
the other one says Pegacow, a female Pegamoo.
Right. The pamphlet goes on to say how they have Pegamoos for the happy couple.
So for Ellen's ceremony, there should have been a male and female pair of Pegamoos. But for some reason, there are two males here.
Maybe somebody made a mistake when they were setting up the room. It's hard to believe a fancy place like this would make that kind of blunder, though. In any case, we better check this thing out. Did this come from the lantern? Yeah, it's covered in blood. Maybe it got on there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern? Can you imagine going to open the door and finding the knob covered with blood? That'd be bloody awful, to say the least.
Wait, what's this?
Hey, what's this? Ooh, let me take a look. Grab Ellen when convenient, then send her off from the Vista deck.
It looks like a note outlining the murder plot.
Whoever wrote it has better handwriting than me, but it looks like they wrote it in a rush.
And why do you say that?
Because the writing is only smudged starting from the middle of each line. That happens when a right-handed person with a slight hook writes in a hurry. I do it sometimes myself when I'm not paying attention where my hand is on the page.
Guess I'll take your word on that, Miss Bad Handwriting Expert.
Hey, even I don't smudge my handwriting this badly.
All right. Let's get back to the note.
That note was apparently written by the victim.
But why would he feel the need to write instructions to himself like this? Are you sure the victim wrote it?
I sometimes write a note to myself before I go shopping. Potatoes, carrots, onions, flour.
Maya, are you craving curry rice or something?
Whoops!
So Emma, where's this Vista deck the note mentions?
It's that heliport you see right outside the window over there.
So he planned on pushing Ellen off from there? What a monster!
God damn!
So this is where the body was found. And the first person to find it was Ellen. Emma, what can you tell me about the condition of the body when it was found?
Let's see. The victim was apparently hit on the back of the head. Here's a photo of the scene as we found it.
I see. Was there anything else of interest? What do you think this is, Maya?
Looks like a flower petal to me. What an unusual shape for a flower petal.
Do you suppose it's from one of the flowers here in the reception hall? No, I don't see a single flower like this at any of the tables. I wonder where it came from. I guess that about does it for this lantern. Now let's look around and see if we can find anything else.
It's a fog machine for the reception. Pretty cool, huh?
Don't you dare touch it.
Aw, spoil sport.
That's because I know how you operate. That's one big partition screen, industrial size even.
I bet it caused an industrial sized mess if it fell over.
That's why you're not allowed to touch it, Maya.
What? Then who's gonna test how stable it is?
Just leave it alone, please.
I wonder what this partition is for.
I imagine people at the reception staff or entertainers use it. They probably wait behind them when they're on standby.
I see. With a partition this size, I bet they could even fit an elephant back there.
Not that anyone sane would. It's a fog machine. I wonder if they used it during the reception.
Ooh! Hey, Nick, go stand over there for a sec.
Why?
Just because. Now go.
All right. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Fogmaster 9000 on!
Maya, no!
Huh? Aw, nothing happened.
Looks like it won't work without some dry ice.
Darn it! All I wanted to do was surround you in a thick cloud of smoke.
We got the fog machine added. Wait, there is something here. It looks like a business card wallet. I wonder whose it is.
That face looks awfully familiar.
Yes it does. Guess I'll bring it to him later. Well, I guess that just about does it for the crime scene.
Hey, Nick, I want to see the rest of the airship. We might as well since we're here.
True. We might even run into some of the other people involved in the case.
Nick, how long has that guy been standing there?
I didn't even notice him until just now. Excuse me, are you with Sprocket Aviation? Huh?
Nick, he wrote something on that paper airplane.
I guess we're supposed to read it then. Let's see here. Get out, intruders. Well, that was a rather cold welcome.
Mr. Wright, Maya, meet the lone son of the president of Sprocket Aviation, Soren Sprocket, or to put it another way, the future president of Sprocket Aviation.
So he's Ellen's fiancé. Oh, there he goes.
He's kind of an eccentric. I hear he's the genius inventor behind many of Sprocket Aviation's business successes.
An inventor, huh?
Yup, he even designed this airship.
That's pretty impressive.
Nick, this is no time to be standing around gawking. We have to go after him. We need to ask him some questions about Ellen.
Oh, right. It looked like he was heading outside. Head back to the mooring dock. September 21st. Sprocket Park, mooring dock. There he is. Excuse me, could we talk to you? Excuse me, do you mind if I ask what you're doing?
He sure is riding up a storm.
It is possible. If an enormous change in mass could be detected at one point, then theoretically matter can retain its form even as it crosses the event horizon.
Let's just see what he has to say about Ellen.
Excuse me, but we'll be representing Ellen in court tomorrow. So, can we ask you about the case? Ow! What the? Not interested. Not interested? How can you say something like that?
This is about your fiancée. She's under arrest, you know.
The diameter of the airship is approximately 80 feet. The amount of energy necessary to move matter comprised of the amount of masses. He's off in his own little world.
I can't believe he said he was not interested in talking about his own bride's arrest.
We'll just have to talk on this level then with something he might be interested in. And that's exactly what we gotta do. Could you take a look at this? Is that Ellen's?
Ellen told us that she traveled through time during the incident. She said it happened after she made a wish on this pendant.
You mean to say you two are Ellen's lawyers?
Yes, I just told you that a minute ago.
Sorry, I was lost in thought.
He wasn't even listening?
Oh boy.
He's not at all what I expected, based on Ellen's gushing testimonial anyway.
Okay.
We'd like to ask you about Ellen's case, if you don't mind.
I don't know a thing about it, so why don't you go ask the police?
In other words, not interested. This guy is the worst. Now I feel sorry for poor Ellen.
In that case, can I ask you about how Ellen traveled through time? Go on.
Yes, that got your attention. So, is time travel really even possible?
Yes, it is possible.
Alrighty then.
At the same time, it is also impossible. The pendant I gave Ellen is not supposed to operate as a time machine by itself. What do you mean? The timekeeper, that clock we had displayed in the reception hall, that is the body of the time machine. The pendant is simply a part.
That clock was the murder weapon, wasn't it? But in a time machine too?
What Ellen experienced is akin to traveling down a road by car key. Physically and metaphysically, it should be impossible. Unless, maybe the quantum system inside the pendant somehow accidentally interfered with the natural flow of the fourth dimension. We're losing him again. Maybe we better ask him some more about the time machine. So you've been researching time travel, have you? Moving through the space-time continuum will be man's ultimate means of travel. Time travel as a mode of transportation? Since the dawn of time, man has developed multifarious methods of transportation. Horses, steam engines, gas engines, airplanes, spaceships. But they are all fundamentally similar in that they constitute three-dimensional movement. Travel through the space-time continuum would shift mankind into a new paradigm.
I don't know why, Nick, but I'm getting awfully sleepy all of a sudden.
For generations, Sprocket Aviation has advanced their development of transportation. Therefore, it's only natural that I would research time travel as man's next great leap.
Oh, is he done? So what exactly does all that stuff he was saying mean, Nick?
Well, basically, it's like taking a hamburger joint and adding a drive-thru to it, I guess.
Oh, I get it. It's the same burger, but with a quicker and more efficient delivery system. So what Soren really wants to do is launch humanity into the future.
Launch, not lunch. But do you really believe that time travel is possible? It only becomes truly impossible when man stops daring to believe. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. But you wouldn't understand.
Did you hear that, Nick? Time travelers really do exist.
All I know is, Soren isn't the easiest guy to wrap your head around.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the way he talks. He's full of hope for the future. He's more passionate than I thought, too, when it comes to inventions, anyway.
Yeah. His apparent lack of concern for Ellen is troubling, though. So I hear that the rest of the Sprocket family was opposed to your marriage. What are your thoughts on that? Master Soren. It is time for the meeting on next term's project. What is this? Daydreaming about your inventions again? Tut tut, you are the future president. You must consider the business side too. It is I found Soren. Send the car over at once. I'm not interested. Oh, Master Soren, you do give me quite the headache at times. In any case, your attendant is waiting. Please go to him now. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, where are my manners? My name is Pierce Nicotti. Please call me Pierce. I am the Sprocket family butler.
Nick! A butler! I didn't know they actually still existed. I thought they were just on TV and stuff.
And who might you be, if you don't mind my asking? Oh, I'm Phoenix Wright, Ellen Wyatt's lawyer.
And I'm his assistant, Maya Fey. I'm a spirit medium.
Oh, so it is you. I am most grateful to you for taking on Miss Ellen's defense. You have my sincerest thanks. Don't mention it. So, hey, speaking of this case... Oh, one moment, please.
Wow, what a beautiful pocket watch.
Oh, this? It's just a bit of a good luck charm. That's one expensive good luck charm. But I guess it makes sense. Knowing the time is pretty important in his line of work. So I guess that pocket watch is as important to him as my attorney's badge is to me. There is a little time before I must attend to Master Soren again. Why not come to Sprocket Manor? Huh? You mean to Soren's home? As a token of appreciation for taking on Miss Ellen's defense, I would like to serve you some delicious tea and refreshments.
Oh boy, Nick, a fancy high society tea party with high-class snacks and everything.
And what about the investigation?
Are you kidding? What better place to investigate next than the Soren's house?
I don't know. Do you really think his house is going to give us any new leads?
Of course it will. I'd say we take the butler up on his kind offer and go to Soren's place.
All right. You win. Very good. To Sprocket Manor, then. September 21st, Sprocket Manor, Foyer.
Wow, this place does not disappoint. Ooh, I'm so excited.
Whoa, slow down, Maya. The mansion isn't going anywhere. Now then, we won't have to worry about anyone untoward eavesdropping here. I take it you wanted to ask me some questions? Huh? That's why you invited us here? I am sorry to have tricked you like this. But this is a murder after all. I couldn't talk openly about it in public and risk sullying the Sprocket family's reputation.
Aw, I was really looking forward to all those fancy snacks, too.
There, Maya. Don't cry. This Pierce guy is one shrewd man.
Hey, Nick, look at that cute vintage radio.
Radio? Oh, that thing over there under the stuffed bull's head?
I'm gonna take a closer look.
I thought I told you to settle down.
I'm sorry.
Not to worry. Wow, that little mech fixed it right up. I am not only the butler, but I'm also Sprocket Aviation's repair department director. One might say that patching things up is my specialty.
That was incredible! What is that little doohickey on your shoulder anyway?
It's my fixer-upper shoulder back. Master Soren made it for me. It has too many features and functions to effectively enumerate at the moment.
That's so cool! I wish I had one of those!
Fixing things is a simple matter, but fixing people is a different matter. Even a skilled physician can't bring back the dead. Oh, but forgive me. I seem to have gotten sidetracked. He must be in shock over Mr. Gloomsbury's death. Still, I do need to ask him some questions about the case. I should take a look around and see what I can find out while I'm here, too. About the incident Miss Ellen was arrested for. Do you think she did it? Well, I can't prove it yet, but no, I don't think she could have done it. I guess you could call it a gut feeling. I see. I guess we have different opinions then. Do we now? The prosecution says that when Gloomsbury attacked Miss Ellen, she fought back and ended up killing him. I agree with this perspective. Or rather, that is the consensus of the entire Sprocket family. Even so, I heard an interesting story from Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. I heard that the Sprocket family had tried to pressure the prosecutor's office into burying this case. I fear you are mistaken. All we sought was merely a legal consultation. Besides, none of it matters now, as she is no longer a part of this family. Fortunately for us, they had yet to give their marriage license before holding the banquet. So basically, once they realized they couldn't sway the prosecution, they cut her loose. I realize how callous I must sound, but my duty is to protect the Sprocket family. And more specifically, Sprocket Aviation's future and Master Soren, whose genius is essential to the company. I will do anything to achieve that goal. That is my job as a Sprocket family butler.
You know, I think Pierce and Mr. Edgeworth would get along really well, don't you think?
Yeah, I could easily picture Edgeworth with a butler. Oh, and by the way, I suppose I should tell you about this as well. It's about when the members of the extended family and I discovered the crime. Did Ellen say anything to you about traveling through time? She must have been delirious. There is no need to take such a claim seriously. Soren himself said that time travel was possible, though. Master Soren said that. It sounds like he is still stuck in the past. He's psychologically stuck, I take it. Excuse me. What is it? I see. I believe I told you the madam will be having milk tea. Still have lemon slices at the ready just in case. We must not disappoint her, understand? You sure are busy. All in a day's work. Still, we really do need Master Soren to start focusing on the business side of things soon. Could you tell us about the thing you mentioned about Soren's past? There is something in Master Soren's past that he wishes he could change. Please forgive me, this isn't something I should be sharing with strangers. Now I really want to know what Soren's still hung up on. It was sometime after the reception. Some of the Master's relatives and I went to clean up the reception hall, and that is when we saw it. A woman standing in front of the victim with the bloody murder weapon in her hand. It was none other than Miss Ellen. But Pierce, it wasn't what it looked like. That's right, she just happened to find the body. I do not know what Miss Ellen has told you, but what we witnessed was unmistakably the moment immediately after the deed had been committed. And that is what I told the police who came in response to my call. I see. So Pierce was the one who reported it to the police, huh?
Hey, Nick. Now here's a real lady.
She looks smart as a whip, doesn't she?
I wonder who she is. We didn't see her on the airship.
That is Selina Sprocket, Soren's elder sister. Beautiful and capable, she was a great lady. Soren's sister? I think I see the resemblance. Maybe I'll show Pierce his photo later and ask him about it. Excuse me, but there's a card here on the floor. Well, look at that. It's a Flying Chapel keycard. The Flying Chapel? What areas in the Flying Chapel require a keycard, if I may ask? Mostly areas we want to keep the public out of, such as the staff room and the hold, which is chock full of machinery. So you can't enter those areas without a keycard? That's right. This one here belongs to Ellen. Wait, what's Ellen's keycard doing here? Did Ellen come back here after the incident occurred? I don't believe so, and she was arrested by the police straight away this morning. Although, there was a strange man with a gaudy jacket in here earlier. Was that man wearing a beret by any chance? Yes, he was, as a matter of fact. He was also wearing sunglasses and a fake mustache. I knew it! The only question is, what was he doing here? Oh, are those pictures of the wedding reception? Yes, I took them with my trusty camera here.
Do you mind if we have a look at the photo?
Be my guest. Take as long as of a look you like. Well, what do you think of this gorgeous dreamscape? A thick fog billows across the room, making it look as if the couple were walking on clouds.
Wow, look at how beautiful Ellen is here. She looks a little nervous, though.
She does, doesn't she?
Hey, look, there's Pierce.
Really? Where?
Right there, behind the sweetheart table.
Hey, you're right. I bet he was there attending to the happy couple the whole dinner.
So what do you think, Nick? Does anything in this photo stick out at you?
No, not at the moment, anyway.
Hey, Nick, if Ellen really did travel back in time, do you think this photo is of a second reception? You know, after the time jump?
I wonder. Excuse me, sir. Yes, can I help you? Ellen told us she traveled back in time. Would you happen to know anything about that? Oh, no, I haven't the foggiest idea what you're talking about. He clammed up faster than a clam. Yes, he did. Oh, it's the bridal bouquet.
Hey, Nick, how about I throw it and you try to catch it?
Why me?
Just because. I bet you look hilarious flailing around trying to grab it.
But doesn't tradition dictate that it's the ladies that go after the bouquet?
Who cares? Just catch it. Here.
Ow! Hey!
You threw that right at my face. Oh, you don't want to catch that bouquet. Trust me. Why not? They say it's bad luck to catch the bouquet of a marriage that doesn't last.
But I already caught it.
Whoops, too late now, huh, Nick?
Maya. Well, may as well show the photo. Pierce, the woman in this photo is Soren's older sister, Selena, right? I don't think we've met her yet. Yes, about that. He seems hesitant all of a sudden. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about her? All right, very well. She's a big part of Master Soren's past, after all. Soren's past? Master Soren will become the next president of Sprocket Aviation. However, that wasn't always so. Miss Selena Sprocket, Master Soren's elder sister, was next in line. So why isn't she becoming the next president? Because she died in a car accident.
What?
I had no idea. Actually, Master Soren was also in the car with her at the time of the accident. Losing the sister he loved right before his eyes devastated him. Ever since then, he has buried himself in his research on time machines. He also became a quiet and meticulous, almost compulsive note-taker around them.
He seems so stiff and robotic. I had no idea he was carrying all that around inside him.
Master Soren has abandoned the company business and spends all his time on inventions. As the family butler, I am truly concerned. I believe it is high time you let go of the past. Hey, Nick, what are you doing here? Larry? Oh man, Edgy gave me a heck of a hard time. Larry, what are you doing here? I came to promote my new character, Cute Piglet. I was hoping Sprocket Aviation would do some kind of tie-in with me for it.
Wow, I didn't know Larry was such an aggressive businessman. You could learn a thing or two from him, Nick. Why don't you promote your agency to them?
Now's not exactly the time for that, in case you haven't noticed.
See? And this is why you'll never be rich.
Actually, Larry, I've been meaning to ask you something. You were there on the Flying Chapel yesterday, right? Huh? Was I, what were you doing there? Nothing. Whatever it was, I bet it wasn't anything to be proud of. But never mind that. Did you see anything that had to do with the case? Scratch that. Let's start with, you weren't involved in this case, were you? Larry? Hey, he took off! I just knew it. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Come on, Maya, after him! Oh, are you leaving so soon? We, have to run. Thank you for making time for us. I know you have to investigate, but please try to spare the family's feelings as you do. Yes, of course. After this sod! September 21st, Sprocket Park Mooring Deck. There he is. Hey, Larry. Hey there, friend. Fancy meeting you here. There's nothing fancy about it. All we did was follow you. So tell me, Larry, why did you run away like that? Huh? Me? I don't know what you're talking about. A bolt of inspiration for my new picture book hit me and I had to run is all. It was like a cute epiphany. You dig? Right.
He's just gonna keep on playing dumb, isn't he, Nick?
Yes, he is. Come on, Larry. I know you were on that airship, so what did you see? I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything because I was never on that stupid airship. Is that right? You were. Cyclops. You say something? The spiritual power of this Magatama allows me to see these mystical locks that appear when someone is trying to hide something from me. They're called Cyclops, and when I see them, I simply present the Magatama to try my hand at breaking them. If I can unlock them, I'm sure to finally get a straight answer out of them.
Take that!
Let's get cracking. What Larry is hiding. This is no time for games, Larry. I will find out what you're hiding. I'm telling you, Nick, you've got it all wrong. I've got nothing to do with this case whatsoever. Oh, come on, Larry. Even a baby can see through such a blatant and obvious lie. Nothing whatsoever, huh? If you weren't involved, Larry, then you wouldn't have been involved with this person, Ellen Wyatt.
Take that!
You're the one who brought Ellen to my office in the first place. And all those cops? Nothing to do with the case whatsoever isn't gonna cut it this time, Larry. If you have to lie, at least do a better job of it. Don't diss me, Nick! If you're so convinced I'm lying, then let me ask you this. What makes you think I was on that stupid old airship anyway? Let me see some proof, if you got any. Doubling down, are you? Fine. You want proof, Larry? Here's proof that you were on that airship. Your wallet. Uh-oh. This is your business card wallet, isn't it, Larry? I found it in the reception hall. Gah! Time to come clean, Larry Butz. What exactly are you hiding? Wah! All right, fine. You got me. I'll tell you everything. What a dork. Start talking, Larry, and don't be hiding anything else from me. Larry, what were you doing on that airship anyway? Well, I went there to deliver the welcome to our wedding sign they ordered from me. Huh? I didn't know you took on real jobs like that too. Well, for your information, my wedding welcome signs are very popular on the net. And that's how you met Ellen. Uh-huh. I mean, I'd seen her in the photo for the welcome sign, but seeing her in person? The way she smiled at me and said, "Thank you." I felt like I'd been hit by lightning. And that's when you fell in love with somebody else's bride, huh? So were you invited to the reception? Can you believe they told me only family and relatives could attend? They wouldn't even let me into the reception hall. Smart move on their part, I'd say. I got upset and started wandering around the airship. That must be when I dropped my business card wallet, so somebody else must have found it and brought it to the reception hall then. But you know what? I saw something incredible while I was on that flying chapel. Like, get a load of this. What the heck is this? What do you mean, what the heck is this? Isn't it obvious? It's a drawing. I sketched a picture of one of those cabins on the airship. So what's so incredible about a cabin? Look at what was outside the window. It's one of those flying dinosaurs, a real-life pterodactyl. I looked out the cabin window and there it was, just flying out there. That airship traveled through time, I tell you. What? When I told that Pierce Butler guy about it, he told me to never mention it to anybody ever again. But why would he try to keep you from spouting what is clearly just nonsense? Maybe Sprocket Aviation's secretly developing a time machine. No way. Nick, this case is totally amazing. Larry, you didn't tell Mr. Edgeworth about this, did you? Of course not. Edgy would just roll his eyes and think I was off my rocker. I didn't even tell him I was wandering around on the airship. I told him I met Ellie at the mooring dock and we ran away together. Yeah, I could see Edgeworth's eyes rolling right out of his head had he heard about this. So Larry also experienced the time slip somehow. But how is that possible? Hey Nick, I'll be taking my card wallet back now if you don't mind. Oh yeah, this is for you. What is it? It's a picture of the hold. I took it when I was wandering around on the airship. See? There's Ellie right there in the middle. The hold? Yeah, see? It's right here on the diagram. Okay, so now I know where the hold is, but what was Ellen doing there? Well, they were using it as a prepping area for the reception. I see. And around when did you take this? Before the reception. I took it while Ellie was getting everything ready. So this was taken before the incident occurred. I don't know if it'll be of any help, but thanks for this anyway. By the way, Larry, I heard that the door to the hold is controlled by a security system. So how'd you get in there? That's a trade secret. Can't tell ya. And the hits just keep on coming. Well, I guess that's basically a wrap on the investigation.
Not quite, Nick. I want to meet Ellen, too.
Oh, that's right. You haven't met her yet, have you? Okay, let's head over to the detention center then, so you can say hi. Up yours, Larry Butz. September 21st, detention center, visitor's room.
No! Why?
Please understand that this is in Master Soren's best interest. Sounds like Ellen's busy talking with someone. The next president cannot be married to a criminal. It would disgrace Sprocket Aviation. Miss Ellen, I need you to forget about this marriage. Pardon us. If it isn't Mr. Wright. So, their marriage is definitely off? There is no other choice. We cannot have a criminal in the family. For the sake of Master Soren and the Sprocket family, this is what is best.
No. In that case, what if Nick here proved Ellen's innocence? Then you wouldn't have a criminal in the family, right?
I suppose you are right, but I am afraid that will be impossible.
That's not true. Not for Nick. He may look like a nobody, but he can do some pretty amazing things.
I don't take cases on lightly, so rest assured I will prove her innocence. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I understand your name is quite well known in the judicial world. For better or for worse, Pierce, I want you to promise me this. If I can prove Ellen's innocence, then you won't stand in the way of Soren and Ellen's marriage. Very well. But not even the most talented lawyer in the world can change reality itself. And the reality is, Miss Ellen is guilty beyond the shadow of a doubt. I believe that's where you're wrong, Pierce.
I'm clean. I swear I am. Obsessively, compulsively clean. Just as clean and pure as his pure white dress.
Fine. You have my word, but you will be the one to regret this promise. Now, if you will excuse me. Now I have all the more reason to win this case. Ellen, we finished our investigation and we'd like to talk with you about what we found.
Okay, so what did you find out?
In the course of our investigation, we heard that you had been seen standing in front of the victim with the murder weapon in your hands.
It wasn't what it looked like. It's true I was holding the murder weapon. But when I found him, he was already dead. I panicked, and I was hoping I could go back in time again, like I had done earlier. So I picked up the timekeeper from the pedestal and brought it over without thinking.
You were so desperate you were ready to try anything, huh? Unfortunately, that sort of behavior makes you an easy target for the prosecution.
No.
And as for your little trip through time, none of your in-laws could confirm your story, I'm afraid.
I see.
The only exception is Larry. He said he saw something.
Really? What did he see?
Can't say I quite believe it myself, but Larry claims he saw something incredible. He claims he saw a pterodactyl flying outside the airship.
What?
Not only that, but apparently Pierce Nicati told Larry to keep quiet about it.
But why would Pierce do such a thing? Larry's theory is that Sprocket Aviation is developing something in secret. A time machine, to be exact. Do you think that's why nobody would confirm my story? Because it's a secret?
I really don't know. But speaking of your in-laws, We did manage to find your keycard at Sprocket Manor. One of your in-laws said he keep an eye on it for you.
Oh, thank goodness. I lost it while I was getting things ready for the reception. I'd look everywhere for it. I'm so glad you found it!
At least they're tears of joy this time for a change.
Well, Nick, it looks like you'll have to prove the existence of time travel in court tomorrow. That's right. I swear that while Mr. Bloomsbury was being killed, I was busy traveling back through time.
Great. With stodgy skeptic Edgeworth at the helm for the prosecution tomorrow, we're really going to have our work cut out for us. Yep. Our work cut out for us indeed. Trust me, I still have an obligation to see this through, and that's exactly what I plan to do. So yes, that is it for this part. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit the like button. It means a lot. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell. This journey ain't over yet. I'll see to it. This is MegamanNG signing off. Peace out. Product provided by Capcom.